Hello, Cs. Welcome back to the Other Side of Dreams podcast. I am your sister, walking with you through the seasons of reinventions and growth. I'm still on the journey too, but I've walked far enough to see what is possible. This is where midlife women rise, rediscover purpose, and build what's next. And if I can do it, so you can. Quick housekeeping. What I'm sharing here is from my life experiences and what I've learned along the way. This is not a therapy. And if you need help, please seek a professional support when you need it. Let's dive in. I want to say this slowly. You are not lazy. If you've been feeling tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix, if your body feels heavier than it used to, and even simple things now it takes more effort than before, that is not a character flaw. That is information. And today, we're going to talk about something many women feel, but they rarely say out loud. What happens when your body is tired, but your bills don't stop? Because that's the reality. For so many of us in midlife, the responsibilities didn't slow down, and the expenses also didn't shrink. Life didn't suddenly become gentle, but your energy changed. And no one taught us what to do when those two things are no longer matched. Let me paint a picture that might feel familiar for you. You just woke up in the morning, but you still feel tired. Not because you stayed up late last night, and not because you partied too hard, because your body just didn't reset overnight. You still get up, you still go to work, and you still do what needs to be done. Everything feels heavier than it used to. Your back, your knees, your shoulders, and your patience. And yet, the bills arrive at the same way they always have. You have rent, mortgage, utilities, food, insurance, medications, and unexpected expenses. They didn't care that your body is tired. And that's where the quiet pressures lives. Not in a dramatic moment, but in the everyday knowing that rest feels risky. Because rest doesn't pay the bills. And no one prepared us for this part. We are taught how to work hard and how to push through and how to sacrifice. But no one taught us how to live when pushing through starts to cost too much. Let me say something gently. Because this is matters. Your tiredness is not a weakness. It is the natural result of decades of responsibility. Many women listening right now have spent most of their lives in service, caring for children, caring for family, caring for work, and caring for everyone else's needs. And somewhere along the way, caring for yourself become an optional. Not because you didn't matter, but because there was always something more urgent than you. And for us, mother, our always priority is our kids and their needs. And now your body is speaking up, not loudly and not angrily, just consistently. And that can feel scary because when your body starts setting limits, life doesn't automatically adjust with it. And here's where the shame sneaks in. You start telling yourself things like, I should be able to handle this. Other people my age are doing fine. Maybe I'm just complaining too much. That's the worst thing. I shouldn't be tired. I'm lucky. But gratitude doesn't cancel exhaustion. And being thankful doesn't mean you stop being human. You can love your life and still be worn down by it. And that doesn't make you ungrateful, it makes you honest. There's a specific kind of exhaustion that shows up in midlife. It's not just physical, it's emotional. It's the tiredness of knowing that if you slow down too much, things might fall apart. That fear sits quietly in the background. If I rest, what happens? If I say no, who will pay for this? If my body really needs a break, can I afford it? And that's not a small fear. That a survival questions. And here's something we don't talk about enough. The world still expects productivity from women even as our bodies change. The system didn't adjust for menopause, for hormonal shifts, for aging joints, and for slower recovery. It keeps going. And many of us keep going too until the cost become noticeable. And that's where the guilt starts. Because when you build your identity around being capable, being tired feels like failure. But it's not. It's a signal that the way you've been living may no longer be sustainable. And cease. Unsustainable doesn't mean you are wrong. It just means it needs to change. Let me pause here and say this clearly. You are not broken because you are tired, and you are not behind because you can keep up like you used to. You are not failing because your body needs more care. You are transitioning. And transitions require different rules. One of the hardest part of this season is realizing that effort alone is no longer guaranteed safety. You can work hard and you still feel financially insecure. And you can be responsible and still worry about what happens if you get sick. That doesn't mean you did something wrong. It means the equation change. And when those two equations change, the solution must change too. But many women keep trying to solve new problems with old strategies. More hours of works, more pushing, and more self criticism. And that only deepens the exhaustion. Let's talk about rest for a moment. The real rest, not the kind people throw around casually. Rest isn't just a sleep. Rest is knowing that slowing down won't collapse your life. Rest is feeling supported, not terrified, when your body needs care. And for many women, that kind of rest feel impossible right now because rest feels unsafe when income is fragile. And that's the part we have to be honest about. This isn't just about tired bodies. It's about the fear under the tiredness, the fear of instability, and the fear of not being able to keep up, and the fear of being one illness away from crisis. That fear doesn't mean you're pessimistic. It means you're paying attention. And paying attention is the first step toward protecting yourself. This podcast is not here to tell you to push harder. It's here to help you ask a better questions. Questions like, what would it look like if my life didn't depend entirely on my physical strength? What would it mean to build stability that support me, not drain me? And what kind of life do I want in the years ahead? And what needs to change to support that? You don't need the answer today. You just need permission to ask. Because pretending you're fine when you are not doesn't make you strong. It makes you more tired. And sis, you've been tired long enough. Let me share you something from my own experience. There were at times when I ignored the sign my body was giving me, not because I didn't notice them, but because I felt like I don't have a choice. Bills don't wait. Responsibilities don't pause. Life doesn't slow down just because you need rest. So I told myself, just keep going until I realized something very important. Because survival mode can last a long time, but it was never meant to be a permanent. And many women in midlife are still living as if survival is the only options. Even when a different way might be possible, it's not easy and it's not fast, but it's possible. These seasons of life isn't asking you to abandon responsibility. It's asking you to rethink what responsibility looks like now. Responsibility might mean protecting your body or might mean planning for stability and might mean admitting that the old ways of doing things is costing you too much. That is not a weakness. That is wisdom earned through experience. So, if today all you have to do is acknowledge, I'm tired and I don't want to live in fear anymore, that's enough. You don't have to solve everything right now, and you don't have to make big decisions or think I have to know what comes next. You just have to stop pretending this exhaustion doesn't matters because it does, and you do. In the next episode, we're going to talk about dignity, independence, and why wanting stability doesn't mean you're afraid. It means you're ready to take care of yourself differently. For now, I want you to sit with this truth. Your body is not betraying you. It is trying to protect you. And listening to it might be the most loving thing you do for yourself this season. And sometimes, choosing to listen, choosing to grow, is an act of self respect. Thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed this conversation, follow the shows and share it with a woman who needs it. And if you have a story or topic in your heart, reach out. This space is open.